was just getting some groceries, and I went to pay with my ATM card and to try to get some cash back, and my PIN number didn't work. It said it was an invalid PIN. So started to feel a little sense of panic, like, okay, I guess I can't get cash out. I used another card that I didn't get cash with, so luckily I had that option. But I was just noticing the panic start to rise up in me, and so I thought about just sitting in the car, but it felt kind of off in the parking lot, so I drove back to a place that was more calm and quiet. I've just been sitting with that fear of just money, survival, what's going on with my account. Did someone change my password? Did someone hack my account? Did I forget? Maybe I forgot my password. I haven't used it in a while. Maybe I'm forgetting. I don't know. It's possible. I've done that before, temporarily. Um, so I in situations like these, I usually feel like, okay, fear is present. If I take any actions when fear is present, I imagine that contributing to more fear, potentially. Maybe not, but that's my sense of it. I usually just stop everything unless it feels like something that's clearly urgent that I need to act on immediately, which isn't very often. I just stop and I close my eyes and I just feel the energetic experience of that fear. And it often churns around but kind of softens in that space. And sometimes ideas will pop in after a little bit, like that I maybe didn't think of when I was in more of a panic state. Um, so eventually it felt right to check my account just to see if it looked like money had been taken out, if it was hacked, something like that. And I checked it, and I had less money in there than I thought. I hadn't looked in a while. So that brought a little more panic. It's like, okay, just more to be with, more to breathe into the experience of. Didn't look like anyone had hacked it. I couldn't see any purchases in there that didn't look right. Um, my credit card bills were high payments, so I was like, okay, maybe I'll check that at some point, but I haven't yet. It maybe makes sense that they're high because I was doing a lot of traveling, a lot of gas was being spent. I have no idea where any income is going to come from, so it can create fear when anything happens that interrupts the easefulness of money being able to be spent. I've been taking my writing from the year and putting it into creating a book out of it, and that's been a fun process. So I was like, okay, is it time to go back to that? Because I've been wanting to go back to that and keep working on that. It feels inspired and alive. Um, and it's kind of just in the past I've felt like I need to sit with these energies for long periods of time, sometimes, hours even. Um, and lately it feels more like minutes that it starts to move, and it feels like it doesn't have to just be that, just sitting in silence. It can be It can be something else. It can be maybe a conversation with someone will be the perfect thing, or going on Facebook or working on this project. So that's what I decided to do. And then I was reading some things that I wrote earlier in the year and feeling like, whoa, these actually feel really relevant for this moment. And one of them was something about suffering coming down to thinking I know what something means. And something softened in me when I read that. And I closed my eyes again and I sat with that. It's like, yeah, I think that my ATM, my PIN number not working means something. I think it means I'm not going to be okay in some way. Maybe I don't know anything. Maybe that's not true. Maybe I'm completely okay right now. I seem okay in this moment, the only moment. Fear is future. It's not like it's irrelevant necessarily. But my imagining is the more aware I am that I'm okay in this moment, the more that contributes to a future reality of that continuing to be my experience. And some moments aren't going to feel okay. And that's okay too. And that's where the not knowing comes in again, making it mean something. What if this is the greatest thing that could possibly have happened to me in this moment? What if everything that's being stimulated is for some purpose that this perspective me isn't aware of, that's actually being celebrated like crazy by a different me, an expansive me? It's like, yes, he wasn't able to get his money. He's not sure what's going to happen the next time he tries to use his card. He's not sure if he's going to have to navigate some red tape. He's not sure if he didn't realize he had that little money in his bank account. Woohoo! Because it's entirely possible, and from my perspective, quite likely that that's not just some bummer. Like it's actually something that's serving me. And I hesitate to even use the word serving me because I feel like everything serves me. So it's like an irrelevant term, because that implies that something's not serving me if something is serving me. And if I feel like everything's serving me on some level, then it doesn't register as a useful frame of experience. So these perspectives start coming in. I start feeling lighter, and I still feel the tension in my body. I still feel the fear. It's there, but it doesn't have to be this thing that I have to get rid of as quickly as possible through action. And I did take some action. I looked at my bank account. I went on. I read some of my own writing that inspired me, relaxed me. But something in me feels softer. And it feels like I can relate with whatever's here within me, these fear energies, whatever this is, without that panicked sense of I need to do something about this. There's a sense of trust that comes in that I'll know what to do in the moment that something needs to be done. And this is just kind of how I live my life. And I think I was inspired to get on here and make a video because this sort of is a microcosm for the macrocosm that is my life, of how I navigate this reality and how I navigate fear. And sometimes it's it feels more urgent. Sometimes I do take action because I feel like if I don't, something's gonna happen. And sometimes it's not even. I can even sense that like it's not that urgent, but it feels urgent. Like yesterday, I posted, or 2 days ago, posted a Facebook post, and it wasn't loading. And then I thought it might get lost, and I didn't save it. Um, I didn't copy the. I just did it right on the Facebook document. So I had this fear that it wouldn't load onto Facebook, and then it would just be gone. And it felt powerful, and I didn't want to lose it. So I was like, okay, I need to take action. I need to get to Wi-Fi as soon as possible so that there's a better chance that this will upload and not be lost in the ethers. Because that's happened before. So that did feel like I was taking action, even though I was in fear. But it felt something in me just wanted to make sure, even though on some other level I was like, it's all going to be okay. Nothing needs to happen. This post doesn't need to post, and maybe I could rewrite it and it'll be even better. Who knows? But I took action. I got to Wi-Fi. It did load, and I felt pretty good about it. So maybe there was some intuition in there. I don't know. But all that being said, for the most part, I just pause and I feel whenever my experience becomes a little bit overwhelming. And sometimes I follow those little hits to take some sort of action, and sometimes I don't. And I wait, and I trust that something will arise that feels less influenced by fear or by lack or scarcity or separation. And I'll feel more of a clear yes, even within the state of self-doubt and panic that I'm in, overwhelm. Something will be like, yeah, no, that has a little different energetic quality to it. Enough so that I think I'm going to move in that direction and see what happens. So that's a little about my process. And I also noticed that sharing seems to like diffuse the energy as well to some degree, or to alchemize it in some way. So I think part of my inspiration to make a video was curiosity. Like I didn't know exactly what I'd say and what would happen, and if it would be something that felt relevant to share. I think it is. I'm gonna watch this back and see if it feels that way, and maybe share it, maybe not. But it feels like human. There's something I feel good about sharing things that are just honest explorations of experience and sharing of my process. It feels like when I do that, something lets go of me. And maybe something lets go of other people a bit too.